We have no clue what this matchup in front of us is because we're tasting completely blind. These pours might knock us down, but we get back up again. You're never going to keep us down.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down.
I can't stand that song.
I love that song.
I know you love it, though. That's why I did this for you.
It makes me happy, thank you.
Hopefully you enjoyed it, too. Let's get into this blind tasting.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. Thank you for joining us today or tonight or whenever you're watching this.
Yeah.
If you're new here, Erin is a social sipper.
I am.
I'm a whiskey nerd.
He is.
We're not whiskey tasting professionals.
We're not.
We're just regular, average Janes and Joes, or Erin's and Josh's, as it were.
Yeah.
And we don't do whiskey reviews. We do whiskey reactions.
Which
and our
serve
reaction.
as your review.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to taste these completely blind, tell you what we think about them. Then we're going to find out the price and see if that changes how we feel before we find out what we're drinking. We think this is really telling. It helps eliminate all the hype and the bias of labels and price tags and all that stuff. And we think it gives you a really unbiased opinion. So if you like that sort of thing, I would recommend subscribing to the channel. It's only going to get you more content like this. Tons of fun. Let's get into glass one. That rhymed. Tons of fun. Let's get into glass one. I'm a poet and didn't know it.
But you did know it.
Well, I realized it after, like during the rhyme, I picked up on it.
Did you bust a rhyme?
Kinda.
Okay, this smells super sweet, but also kind of like old library books.
Yeah. Sweet, old, proofy.
Like some candy was stuck in an old library book, and you open the book so you get that old, like, page smell, but then there's also some candy stuck in there.
Yeah.
Like just straight up sugar candy, not chocolate.
I love it when we use these glasses. They're super swirlable, and they are available at stuffandwhiskey.com if you like a super swirlable glass with some heft.
I'm still not good at swirling glasses, though.
You know when you swirl, it indicates a circular motion, correct? Hey, look at you go.
It's all in the wrist.
If you do this...
Right, Happy Gilmore?
Look, just move in circles. Did you ever do you did the thing in school when you warmed up by doing little arm circles?
Oh, yeah.
It's just like that. You're just doing it with a whiskey glass.
I have to hold it like this. So you hold it like this.
Right.
And I can't do that, but if I hold it like this...
Well, when I'm doing it like this,
then
I'm
I can
swirling.
Move in a circle.
I'm swirling the top of the glass.
All right, let's get into actually, like, drinking this.
Well, big kind of like fruit sweetness, like fruit candy, almost like
It's definitely fruit candy.
I almost want to say like a cherry Big League Chew.
Like a chewy candy, a cherry chew.
Well, I don't know if this exists, but like it doesn't smell like Hubba Bubba bubble gum.
Correct.
But
that's bubblegum flavor.
It smells like a cherry version of that. So my mind's going to Big League Chew, which was grape for me.
Oh, so good.
But I don't know if they had a cherry version. But if they did, it would smell like this. And if they didn't, why didn't they?
They should have if they didn't. But I don't think they did. I think they had the bubblegum flavored and the grape flavored. But
yeah.
Is that still around?
Probably.
I would love some.
I don't know. It's Chew. It probably got shut down in modern culture.
Canceled, yeah.
Okay. That's what this smells like. This smells like cherry chewy candy with like white sugary dust all over it.
And there's a little bit of funk. Like that reminds me of like an old weathered page, like library books.
Yes. Sweet old oak funk and a fair bit of proof. So let's proceed with caution.
Not as sweet on the palate.
Yeah.
But pleasant.
Very interesting. Not as proofy as I thought on the palate.
But
it leans more into the oaky, leathery, like those aged notes.
It tastes like this wooden board here.
Yeah.
Kind of dark.
Honestly,
kind of
that's
this color and wood. Like
yeah, we recorded a video earlier for our Monday video, which you may have already seen if you check out our channel regularly. If you don't, you should subscribe. But yeah, that's actually a really good call.
Yeah.
This tastes like a piece of
stained
chestnut wood or maple wood or something.
It's a stain of
some sort. Let's get another sip down because you can't trust that first one.
Yeah, true. Okay, I got a little bit more sweetness on the second sip. Not a ton though. Honestly, I'm very surprised.
Yeah, I got a little bit more of a nuttiness on that. Like I wouldn't call it a peanut butter sweetness, but I wouldn't call it a peanut sweetness either. I'm having a really tough time putting my finger on exactly what that is.
Like
but
an almond butter?
Maybe.
Cashew butter?
Maybe. Something in that realm.
Pistachio butter? I'm just throwing out nuts now.
Kind of like a general nutty sweetness combined with the sweet oak.
Okay.
And then the cherry note that was so prominent on the nose is kind of falling to the background. Still there, though. I find that to be really enjoyable. Tastes like kind of classic Kentucky bourbon, but it's got a lot going on in there. It's got some complexity to it. And I find it to be generally pretty enjoyable. Let's get into the second glass on the nose and see how it compares.
Ooh, this smells more like down your alley. Butterscotch, caramel.
Every time you say butterscotch, I never get butterscotch.
Just think caramel adjacent, okay?
I would say more like caramel, toffee, in that vein.
Yeah, butterscotch, toffee to me are very similar. Just go with it, okay?
Okay. Just go with it, okay?
Go with it.
We can be wrong, but just go with it, okay?
I'm not wrong because that's what I get.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Very subjective.
That's true.
It's not an subjective to my opinion. Yeah,
that's very true.
It's my opinion, I'm right.
You get what you get, and you and me don't fuss a bit.
Fuss a bit, yeah.
Yeah, to me, this is like, it's put me on the inside of a candy bar.
Yeah, I got something fruity though, just a little bit on the nose, like almost like Gushers, like the red Gushers or the blue Gushers even.
I kind of see you there. There's something in there deep.
Yeah.
Underneath.
Yeah, it's
this kind of slight pop. It's bringing a little bit of brightness to it that's not readily apparent unless you search for it, which actually kind of makes it nice because it's not at the forefront. Like the fruitiness was at the forefront on the nose of glass one.
Yeah.
And then it disappeared to the background on the palate. This one has the fruit on the background on the nose.
Yeah.
And it's got all that, like, those darker, richer barrel type of notes on the nose.
Now I want Gushers.
Let's get this on the palate before she loses her mind about some Gushers.
Wow. Again, not as sweet on the palate as I was expecting it to be based on the nose. Now, granted, I didn't think this was going to be as sweet as, well, it didn't smell as sweet as the first one smelled, but it tastes equally not as sweet as the first one tasted not sweet.
We got a matchup on our hands.
Yeah, we do.
This is gonna be tough. I'm just gonna first sip off the second one. This is going to be difficult. This has a nutty sweetness, oaky sweetness as well. What's wild is that this one smells older on the nose, but the first one, at least on first blush, seems to taste a little older on the palate to me because it's got that leathery type of note. You just went back to the nose?
I did. Yeah, I'm already confused.
Ooh.
This is not boding well.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Now the nose on glass one smells better. This is gonna be tough.
Man, this matchup was hard. This is a hard matchup.
Okay. Here's what I love when things are this close. Oh man. Hang on a minute. I gotta stop mid-sentence. That second sip I took on that second glass, I'm getting like this root beer Dr. Pepper thing hitting me on the back of the palate.
Are you just saying that because you had root beer and Dr. Pepper today?
Well, they're front of mind because I did have a little bit of your Dr. Pepper and some of my root beer for lunch earlier today, but I'm definitely getting that note on the back of the palate. And I'm getting kind of a nuttiness on both of the glasses. We went back to the nose on glass one and it smelled amazing. Better than glass two, even though coming to glass two from glass one, glass two smelled better.
This is going to be a tough one.
We're going to be, I think people say, in a blender on this one. Like, we're going to be chasing our tails. It's going to take us a while. It's going to take me a particularly long time. I mean, that's why we have to take a little bit of a break in the middle of these videos, let our palate recover, drink some water, start with the second glass, go back to the first.
Yep.
I don't have a clear preference right now.
I don't either. They're very similar, honestly. They're different, but they're similar enough where I feel like maybe they're in the same family, or if they're not in the same family, one could easily substitute for the other.
I agree, which is the point I was getting ready to make earlier, and I sidetracked myself because of the root beer note.
Okay.
I love matchups like this where they seem to be very comparable, just slightly different in the way they go about their business. Because if one of these is hard to find or very expensive and the other one is easier to find or more affordable, that bodes really well. Like whatever the hard to find or expensive one is, just get the other one, I think.
Yeah.
But we will verify that with some time. We're going to be back with our full thoughts, results, all that stuff, ratings in just a second. I could be wrong, but I think we got us a curveball on our hands.
Oh, you think?
We have these curveball matchups in our blind sample pool to keep us on our toes, and we can never get too complacent around here. We can't just have it all stacked with available versus allocated or inexpensive versus expensive and all that stuff. This feels like a curveball matchup because they taste so similar.
Yeah, and honestly,
but slightly different.
Yes, to your point earlier, I feel like they present very similarly. They just go about presenting their business in a different way.
Yeah.
Like the experience is very similar, but they just have slightly different ratios
Yes.
of things.
Very much so. And to me, after spending some time with them, it became really clear.
Oh, I'd love to hear your clarity.
Well-
I don't have clarity.
Okay, you don't? Do you have a preference on glass?
Yes, very slight though.
Okay, I have a slightly more than slight preference, but what's your
Okay,
preference?
so I'm going to give both of these a thumbs up.
Okay.
I really enjoy both of them. If I had to pick a pour of another one, it would be glass 2, only because I feel like glass 1 is a little bit brighter, just ever so slightly on flavor. And today I'm not feeling that brighter profile. But again, so slight. Like I had to really think about it and kind of just like get in my head because they present very similarly. The experience was very similar. They just had slightly different profiles. This one was a little brighter. This one was a little darker. I'm feeling a little darker today. That's it. That's literally why I picked it. But I'm giving them both thumbs up.
Okay. To me, the more time I spent with them, and I just verified because I was a little confused. I thought glass 1 was brighter on first pass, but as I spent time with them, started with glass 2, went back to glass 1. I actually think glass 1 is the darker, richer glass,
Really?
and it is my preference.
Interesting.
And it's
Are you sure you didn't mix them up?
yeah, I'm sure it's close but clear. And the reason I say close is because I do think there are a lot of similarities between the two. My only issue is that glass 2 seems to have this little bit of a sour tinge to it, almost like
Okay.
this sour acidic type of tinge
Interesting.
to it that just throws me a little bit. But glass 1, I really like. All the flavor notes held. There's like a lot of the inside of a candy bar. You don't get the chocolate from the outside of the candy bar,
Yeah.
but like all the caramel, nougat, toffee, nuttiness
Yeah.
that you get on the inside of like a Snickers or a
Yeah.
Payday or whatever. That's all in both of these.
Yeah, but I will say both of these are less sweet on the palate than I expected based on the nose.
Yes.
So when you're saying candy bar, like you're getting the
Yeah. Good point.
impression of the things on the inside of the candy bar, but you're
Yeah.
not getting that sugary sweetness that's attached to those things.
Right. The nuttiness in here kind of to the point of the nuttiness earlier that I couldn't
Yeah.
quite put my finger on. A lot of times when people say, oh, this whiskey's nutty, for a long time I wondered, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
To me, what nutty means is the flavor of some type of nuttiness and also the way that contributes to a lack of sweetness.
Yeah.
Because a peanut is not sweet, nor is an almond, maybe pistachios are kind of sweet, but like not a lot of nuts.
Pistachios are so good.
No, they are. They're so expensive too.
They are. All nuts are
I think
expensive.
whiskey is cheaper than pistachios by pound weight, whatever.
I mean, I'd buy pistachios over whiskey, not gonna lie.
But yeah, to me, glass 1 is the winner here. To you, slight preference to glass 2.
Slight preference to glass 2, but honestly, it could depend on the day for me.
I mean, I will go. I kind of want to go thumbs up on glass 1.
Okay.
I feel good about that.
Okay.
Glass 2 is throwing me a little bit with that sour note, and that is a note that I find a little off-putting,
Okay.
and I don't love it.
Follow your heart.
Just okay on glass 2.
Okay.
So you're thumbs up on both.
I am.
I'm thumbs up on glass 1, but just okay on glass 2.
I do want to pause real quick. As we've been talking, I've been taking more sips. These feel proofier than I thought they were at first.
I think they got some proof on them.
I think both of them are deceptively proofy because the finish is just lingering. Okay, I just wanted to say that before we find out what they are or find the price.
Sorry about that, headphone users. Yeah, now I'm not really, well, no, there's that sourness on the finish. All right, let's find out the price on glass number 1 first. My preference, your slight less preference.
Slightly.
$52?
$100.
Really? Okay. What's the price on glass number 2, number 51 in our pool?
$70.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. I would pay $30 more for glass 1 to not get that sour tinge of a note, personally.
Yeah, I will say I'm not getting that sour tinge that he's talking about. So take that with a grain of salt. Like it's a very personal preference profile thing.
Right.
I honestly feel like this is a fair price for both of these. Granted, would I like glass 1 to be $70? Yeah.
Yeah.
$100. I'm not thinking that's an outrageous claim.
No,
So
I'm
I'm staying thumbs up on both.
You get proof. So if you're someone who doesn't like proof, I don't think either of these pours are for you.
Really?
They're not super high in proof, but they're not low in proof either.
No.
There's a lot of flavor here.
Yes, with a caveat, I do think that if you're maybe venturing into drinking something that's higher proof, assuming these might be good to try because they don't hit you over the face with proof. It's almost like an afterthought. For me, it took me several sips of drinking them for the finish to kind of build. So if you're experimenting with maybe starting to drink higher proof things, I think whatever these are could be good to try.
Yeah.
So just know that.
I think that's a great point, a very important point. If you didn't hear it, if you're just kind of glancing over this video and really not paying attention, rewind, listen to what Erin said. She is correct. Erin's 3 favorite words in the world are not "I love you." They are "you were right."
No, I was right. Oh, from you.
You were right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do say I love you. You're making me seem like
no, I'm not saying
not very good person.
I'm not saying you don't appreciate it. I'm just saying you get more joy out of me saying you were right
than you saying you love me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I say I love you all the time.
Yeah. But I like it when you say that I'm right, but then I like it when you show me that you love me.
Men, take note. This is a lesson.
Yeah.
You came for the whiskey.
Tell me I'm right, but show me that you love me.
Stay for the relationship advice. That's why it's stuff and whiskey.
That speaks to me more than you know.
Man, we just got taken to school, guys.
Okay. All right. Continue. We got to talk about whiskey now.
Glass number 1, my favorite is, by the way, price-wise, you're staying thumbs up on both. I'm staying thumbs up on glass 1. am going to stay just okay on glass 2. I don't think it's a bad value. That sour note just throws me a little bit.
I just saw what they were.
A little bit. What's glass number 1?
Do you want to take a guess at all?
No.
Do you want to venture a guess? I'm interested.
They seem like something in the like Heaven Hill or Jim Beam distillery, maybe Wild Turkey, but they're like in that Heaven Hill Jim Beam flavor profile. So they got so many products, I wouldn't know.
Okay, I don't know what distillery makes this
Glass
product.
2 could be Baker's 7. I don't know.
Okay.
What's glass number 1? 52 in our pool.
Knob Creek 15 year.
Jim Beam.
Okay. It's 100 proof.
Okay.
Definitely.
Whoa, that drink's higher than that.
Yes, but not at first.
Batch 1, by the way.
Okay. As you drink more of it, the finish builds upon itself, which to me, I really like. I like it when I feel like I'm drinking proof, but it's not hitting me in the face. So then...
Is glass number 2 knob 12 or 18?
Knob 12. Knob Creek
okay.
12 year.
I would be stunned if it was 18.
12 year. Also 100 proof.
Okay.
So these are in the same family. And the Knob Creek 15 is thanks to Bill and Delia Kavanaugh. So thank you guys for sending us that.
Thank you guys. We've never owned a bottle of Knob 15. We've been in blind flights before. Shout out to Joel Gross, by the way. Gave us a blind flight that included Pappy 15 and Knob Creek 15. And you and I both picked Knob Creek 15 over Pappy 15.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really interesting that I picked the Knob Creek 12. Have I had Knob Creek 12 before?
You have, yeah.
Okay.
Several times.
Okay. Do I like it historically?
Do you want to explain to them why you're asking that? Because somebody's new here?
Yeah, I don't catalog what we do. Like, I'm here for a good time, not for a long time. Like, I enjoy drinking, as I think you said it earlier in the video, I'm more of the social sipper.
Yes.
So I enjoy the taste of whiskey. I enjoy the camaraderie of whiskey. But I don't catalog this information.
Right.
I'm here for fun. And so Josh remembers what I like.
Yes. When she says she's a social sipper, it means
Truly.
she truly does not drink whiskey unless it's in a social situation.
Correct. I don't drink it alone.
And I'm usually pouring it for her, or we're getting it at a bar or restaurant or something like that.
Correct.
Whereas for me, I'm a nerd about this stuff. But, you know, if I go out and get a beer somewhere, I'm not nerding out on IPA versus this or that or the other. I'm just like, yeah, just whatever beer seems interesting, I'll grab.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Erin is in whiskey.
Correct.
So I think it brings a down-to-earth, relatable kind of approach to this channel and this hobby that can get a little stuffy if we're being honest with ourselves, fellow whiskey nerds. But this is super interesting. You do traditionally like Knob Creek 12, okay, but I think it struck us really nicely today.
Yeah.
It's funny that I got that sour note. I didn't get the fruity note that I typically get in Knob Creek 12. Whereas Knob Creek 15, it gets some flack and it has had some mixed reviews. And I think, as with anything, there's some batch variants out there. And even within the same batch, there could be some bottle variants for whatever reason. We have tasted it a few times, never owned a bottle. Every time I've tasted it, I have really enjoyed it. And I did enjoy it today as well.
Yeah.
Knob Creek 15 showing up for me yet again.
Yeah.
Would I go out and spend $130 on it? Having now tasted it, I would.
So it said 100 on the thing. Is it now gone up?
I think it's in that ballpark, 100 to 130 range.
Okay.
I think it did go up when Knob Creek 18 came out at 180 or 160 or whatever.
Gotcha.
I would buy a bottle begrudgingly at that price, I will say this, between the Knob Creek 12, 15, and 18, consistently, Knob Creek 15 has been my favorite of that run.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Okay, cool.
But that doesn't mean much unless you're tasting the whiskey yourself. Knob Creek 12 is everywhere. It definitely is the value buy of this bunch.
Yeah, I would say so.
And you're literally getting 95% of the experience for like 60 or 70% of the cost.
Yeah. And today I preferred it. So the differences are so minute.
Very minute. Very, very minute.
Yeah.
Clearly, you can see that we have fun doing this channel and we have fun with each other. And if you want to have fun with us, go ahead and check out the link to our Patreon down in the video description below. For as little as $3 a month, you can support the channel, and that gets you plugged into our Discord where people are helping other people find bottles. I am so confident in the power of our Discord community and how much I believe in the good people who like good whiskey over there, that if I went on there and said I was looking for a Knob Creek 15 today, right after this, I would probably have one before the week is over.
Yeah, because we have amazing people on our Patreon that are active on our Discord.
Yep.
So if you're an awesome person, come join us.
If you're not awesome, please don't check it out. Skip the link.
Yeah.
Maybe just like the video or give us a thumbs down. I don't care. Either way.
No, don't.
Do whatever you want.
That will hurt my feelings.
She won't even see it. She doesn't watch our channel.
That's true.
Okay. Also, we do barrel picks. They release over there. We have bonus content, all kinds of stuff. You can get shirts like this one right here, which lots of thumbs up flying around today for these glasses.
Yeah,
so you
good.
can get thumbs up to good whiskey shirts like this one and other shirts as
all
well.
Kinds of stuff.
Whiskey shirts, and we have stuff on there as well, including glassware, cozy corner stuff.
I think I'm going to start adding some candles. So we might have candles by the time you're watching this if I get my act together.
'Tis the holidays.
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments below. Tell Erin to get her act together if you watch this long.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for watching if you have. And be good to each other, y'all. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.